Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Today we are talking about the big October update for Star Wars Armada, and you're probably saying, Crab, why are you talking about an October update when it's November? What is this update, this mystery update? I've never seen anything from AMG about an Armada update. What is this nonsense that you are talking about? So I want to clear up a bunch of information that's out there, talk about what exactly this update is, what we know, what we don't know, and basically answer those questions and explain to you why I am feeling pretty optimistic right about now. So what is going on is basically we have to kind of go back to the source. Now, there is not an official update from Atomic Mass Games that is saying, hey, Armada community, there's this big update coming. Has been no official announcement about this update. There have been a lot of rumors going on for quite a while, including, play testers sort of not necessarily leaking stuff, but strongly hinting, things that are everything but confirmation, basically soft confirmation that there has been work on another sort of update for Star Wars Armada, a special update where we're not necessarily calling it Rapid Reinforcements 3 because we don't know if it's going to be in a Rapid Reinforcements style or if it's going to be more of a points update or in errata or a combination of all three. We don't know for sure. So we're just kind of using the term update. And where we get this information sort of even more confirmed was that Will Schick told the guys from Ion Radio about this update. He told them at Gen Con. Now, this was revealed on the episode 31 of the Command Stack over on Ion Radio. I had talked about this a while back. Again, if you missed that video or if you're just, just kind of discovering the channel now, or you're discovering me, discovering Star Wars Armada and all that stuff, maybe you're kind of behind things. So I'm going to put a link to that entire podcast down in the video description below so you can check it out for yourself. Now, the reason why we're calling it an October update is now again, we are getting this sort of secondhand information, right? And if you're hearing it from me, maybe it's third hand or fourth hand, or depending on what kind of alien species you are, however many hands you may have. But so that basically lit a fire under the community. Now, the guys over at Ion Radio are respectable. They've been doing this for a long time. There's no reason to believe that they would have made this up. Plus, they've had Will Schick on their channel numerous times. There's no reason to believe that they would have been lying about this. So I have no reason to think that. So again, still secondhand information, but we're not getting it directly from AMG, although they got it directly from AMG. Now, it was reported, and he said it was in October when it was going to be coming out. So that's where the secondhand information comes in, because if we had seen it written very clearly and part of a press release, maybe it would have said we're aiming for October, as opposed to it will absolutely 100% be out in October. And the reason I'm talking about this today is because October has come and went, and lately there's been a lot of angry, disgruntled remarks in various Discords and communities and Facebooks and social media and Reddits and all over the place about how this update isn't real and it's not coming, and so these people are liars and this person's a liar and everybody's a liar, and a lot of very, very angry folks right now. And I wanted to set the record straight as best I could, and maybe I can't really set a record straight, but what I can hopefully do is offer a little bit of centering and a little bit of balance to this whole conundrum. Okay, first off, we're getting an update. It obviously seems like it's late. If you've been following Fantasy Flight games, Atomic Mass games, any gaming studio, any game for as long as I can remember, delays are pretty standard. They are pretty standard. We've always had delays. This shouldn't surprise anybody, especially when you're looking at something that's still a Lucasfilm property. It's still something that has to get approved through a licensing. Presumably, if it is a Rapid Reinforcements 3 or has a Rapid Reinforcements kind of component, there could be art involved that has to get approved. Even if there's not art, wording on cards has to be approved. Star Wars isn't going to just allow you, Lucasfilm isn't just going to allow you to officially release something for a game, even if it's a PDF and a print and play type of release. They're not going to let you release something without them reviewing it and approving it, because you could just be like, oh, okay, well, Luke Skywalker is now terrible, and he has, he's a bad guy and he works for the Empire now. They're not going to let you do that. So, hence, everything has to go through them. And this is one of the biggest reasons why there's always been so many delays in all of Star Wars gaming, and gaming as a whole. It's delays happen like crazy. Now there obviously aren't shipping delays because it's obviously again not going to be a physical product, but for any kind of digital release, it still does have to go through marketing. It appears that it has been delayed. Now this is not a reason to freak out. And I say that, I think most reasonable people watching this will be like, well, of course, why would I freak out? Armada is already in one of the greatest states it's ever been in. It's got a very healthy meta. It's got a lot of balance fixes that have happened. We've got a few releases from AMG over the past couple of years. I mean, very, very small, kind of the equivalent to like less than one actual expansion, but, still little breadcrumbs over the years. And things are better than they have been in a long time, especially with the latest kind of errata and points adjustments with onagers and things like that. The correction of the egregious Anakin Skywalker and things like that. Armada's in a pretty good spot. You sit down to play Armada, you're going to have a good time, and that's a great thing. We're about to get more. Right now, it may be in November, it might be in December, maybe, I do certainly hope it comes before Christmas, but I'm so optimistic because the fact is we usually don't have much of a heads up that we're getting anything new for Armada. In the past, it's been, oh, nothing, boom, Rapid Reinforcements, here's a single tweet, boom, then, a whole year, nothing, and all of a sudden, boom, Rapid Reinforcements 2, here's a single tweet, and we let, 2 channels know that we're doing this, but that's it, no hype at all. And now we have a chance to be able to hype up that something's coming. That's exciting to me, because when we get this, it's going to be a big deal. Again, I don't know what exactly it is, but I do know that when new content drops, it's a big deal. It's always a big deal. Doesn't mean that everything is going to be perfect. There may be something in it that's broken. There may be another Anakin Skywalker situation. I mean, I certainly hope not. I don't expect there will be. I think that maybe some lessons have been learned. And even if there is, there's no doubt that we could get them to correct it. Again, they're not throwing the game out the window. They're just sort of ending support for it. But the fact that they're doing another update does sort of indicate that they wanted to send it off on a good foot. They wanted to send it off with some kind of fanfare. Here's one last hurrah. I don't think they're going to, if there's an egregious, look, the wording on this card, you have this new commander, but he's listed at 1 point. That's broken. You can't have him listed at 1 point. Oh, no, he's listed at 100 points. That's obviously a typo. You need to correct that. If there's something like that, I don't have any doubts that it'll get corrected. But regardless of, if something is broken or not, just anything new is exciting. Now, obviously, it's exciting for me as a content creator because whatever it is, I'll be able to talk about it and speculate and sit there and build lists for days and days and days. But that's also exciting for people who actually want to play in their local stores, that want to have people come out, that want to have tournaments and want to have, players showing up again and having, keeping the community alive. It's a very exciting time for that. It's also exciting for people to kind of see what impact, having just a little bit more breath breathed into these communities is going to do. It's also exciting if you're interested in tournaments and you're interested in Worlds 2025, because if we're getting another update, it means we're going to have another Worlds that's going to have a different meta. It means that not everybody's going to be running the exact same thing for maybe a third Worlds tournament in a row or something like that, which is going to be also a pretty exciting thing for me. So again, whether or not it's new stuff, or it's just points changes, or whether it's errata, or a combination of those three, any of those three, that all leads to list changes and meta changes. Something as simple as, oh, Tarkin has gone down in points, could see the Empire shake things up quite a bit. If Akbar goes up in points or gets reworded a little bit, that could also do some very interesting things. If certain cards that are modifications aren't modifications anymore, or like there's a whole bunch of, or if we get Republic Architans, or if we get a new Separatist commander and things like that, like amazing different things that could potentially happen to really spice up the game. And I think that it's a beautiful thing. There are so many ways to enjoy this game, but having new content come out from Atomic Mass Games is really going to spice things up. So a lot of you are asking, well, what if it's not real? What if it never comes out? I think that's certainly a question. I don't think there's any chance that it's not going to come out. Here's what I can tell you. I have reached out to AMG about this. I have not heard anything back yet. Not a confirmation or a denial. Just radio silence, which is interesting because usually, if it's something false or if it's something wrong, they're very quick to say like, no, that's, I don't know where you heard that. That's not accurate. So the fact that radio silence to me is a good thing. Also, if you look at sort of moderator comments on AMG Discord, people are asked about this. Now, some people have asked about it way too aggressively and have been, really not, showing the Armada community's best. But if you look at the overall reaction, is that when people ask about this October update, or have been asking about the October update when it was October, the general sort of admin and moderator, response was, all right, we're sending your feedback up the chain. You'll know when you know. We'll when AMG has something official to say, they'll say it. But of course, if you suggest something, to test the waters, I suggested a rumor that was not a real rumor, and of course the mods were quickly to say, hey, no false rumors in here. I'm like, so if any of you were in the Atomic Mass Games Discord, I started a rumor a while back. All right, well, I said, have you guys heard anything about this rumor? Of course, technically it was a rumor because I had just invented it. But the moderators were very quick to shut it down and said, like, hey, please don't spread false rumors here. And I'm like, oh, okay. So by confirming that my rumor was false, you also confirmed that the October update is real. So, it's one of the reasons I act a little crazy sometimes. Sometimes there's a method to my madness, but I don't know if we necessarily needed that confirmation, because I already believe Ion Radio, and I believe, at least at the time when Will Schick had told them October, that I think that was the plan at the time. Of course, nothing, again, it was casual conversation, so it wasn't as formatted as a press release would be. A press release is going to have much more careful language. And the reason why I urge people not to beat up AMG on this, and don't be nasty to them about it, because it means that they're going to be less likely to talk to you in the future. They're going to be less likely to talk to us in the future. They're going to be less likely to talk to content creators, to media, or just to regular fans as a whole. Because, yeah, maybe they were aiming for October, and at the time that was the best information he had, and he was optimistic. He wanted to share something with the community. And there's people that are just beating him up and calling him a liar just because of, a casual comment he happened to make off the record. It was just, he wasn't on film. It wasn't a press release. Give the guy a break. Give AMG a break. I mean, look, there are plenty of reasons to throw stones at AMG and the way that they've handled this game in the past. But in this situation, it's unwarranted, in my opinion. In this situation. I mean, look, there's plenty of other reasons. There's a laundry list of valid criticisms to give AMG. But the fact that there's something else coming, and he wanted to give content creators, he wanted to give community a heads up. Oh, hey, by the way, there is something coming. Should be around October. Again, I don't know the exact verbiage of how it was said, because it is second or third hand information. But I believe that he probably at the time expected it to be October. Now that October has passed us, it's pretty clear that it's being delayed. That's no problem. It means good things are coming. Maybe it's going to be a very happy holiday season with some brand new Armada to get our tabletops flying again. I don't know, but I'm excited about it. That's the current state of things. We're in a holding pattern. We're waiting. It would be great if Atomic Mass Games could give us maybe an ETA or some kind of confirmation to say something about it. But usually the status quo is when they have something to say, they'll say it. They're usually not big on interim remarks because there are so many moving parts. And because people are so prone to light them on fire when something that was estimated ends up not meeting the exact target date. So, you know, I understand that. It is a necessary part of working with a licensor and working with, you know, having to submit something for approval and just playing the waiting game and waiting for it to be approved. It happens. It's not the end of the world. We've already gone somewhere between a year and a half and 2 years since we got any real new content for Armada. And I'm okay with waiting a couple more weeks or even a couple more months if that's what it takes. I'm all right with it because, well, frankly, I got no choice other than to be all right with it or to move on and play something else. But, you know, I can do both. I can play other games and wait for more Armada stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. I encourage you to stay optimistic, though, because it's going to be a really good time. Of course, I will be covering all of the latest Armada news when it does drop. And, you know, it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be exciting. Probably will be the last thing we get from Atomic Mass Games for Star Wars Armada. Although, who knows? Anything could change. Things happen all the time. There have already been 2 X-Wing updates from AMG. Granted, one of them was kind of small, but still, there, you know, things, you know, surprises can happen. I'm not saying that they will, but who knows? Just stay optimistic and keep playing the game that you love. I'm sure there's people ready to play with you, especially twice as many once this new update drops. And that's exciting. I hope your gaming community receives this update, and I hope your gaming community all shows up and you guys have some great games, and it ends up being a very happy holiday season with lots of new life breathed into this game whenever we get new stuff. Again, I'm staying optimistic about it because it's more fun to be optimistic. There's a lot more smiles when you look at the world with rosy-colored glasses. I know some of you might disagree, but that's okay. You're more than welcome to. Let me know down in the comments. Also, join our Discord and keep the discussion going there. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and big thanks to my patrons. You guys are out of this world and help make this whole channel possible. I will talk to you later. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. And always wash your socks.